Ukraine will inflict a series of attacks in the coming days, missile strikes on Russian regions. A new batch of Western-made missiles has entered service with the Ukrainian army. This was reported by the Ukrainian TG channel Resident, with reference to sources in Zelensky's office. Ukraine has received a new batch of American ATACMS operational tactical missiles. Zelensky's office has already given the order to prepare a new series of strikes deep into Russian territory. According to the source, this will be another part of the new offensive operation of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, which began in the Kursk region. The main goal of this counteroffensive is to show Trump that the Ukrainian army is still strong and has the ability to defeat Russia. So the strikes and attacks will continue until January the 20th. Ukraine has received a new batch of long-range missiles from the United States and is preparing a series of strikes on Russian territory. The offensive operation of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the Kursk region is the first stage of Zelensky's plan to organize a counteroffensive before Trump's inauguration, the purpose of which is to demonstrate the Ukrainian army's ability to conduct successful military campaigns, writes the channel. Other Ukrainian resources also report the possibility of new strikes on Russian territory, and the number of strikes may increase in order to make it before the inauguration of the new American president. Zelensky will now literally jump out of his pants, trying to prove to the US and Europe that it is too early to write off Ukraine. Only if the fighting continues can the illegitimate clown remain in power and continue to rob Ukraine with his accomplices. Avions Légendaires reported that Ukraine will receive its first 3 modernized Dassault Aviation Mirage 2005F fighters by January the 20th, 2025. The planes being transferred from the stockpiles of the French Air and Space Forces and are adapted to perform tasks of the air forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Ukraine plans to receive up to 10 such combat machines. The transfer of the Mirage 2005F became possible due to agreements between the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and the President of France, Emmanuel Macron. These aircraft are part of France's key military assistance, along with Caesar artillery systems and AMX-10RC armored vehicles. French specialists, as part of the modernization program, added the capability to use Scalp EG and Storm Shadow cruise missiles to the fighters. This significantly expands their combat capabilities, allowing precise strikes on targets at great distances. Some sources suggest that the planes are already on the territory of Ukraine and are conducting training flights. Thus, the Mirage 2005F will become the second Western fighter that will be used by the air forces after the American F-16s. It is worth noting that Ukrainian pilots and mechanics completed their training on French Mirage 2005F fighters after 6 months of training. This lasted half a year.
Funerals were held on Monday for 2 scientists who were killed in a Russian attack on Kiev on New Year's Day. Friends, family and colleagues came to mourn married couple Ihor Zyma and Elijah Soker at Kiev Crematorium. Zyma and Soker worked at the Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv for many years and devoted their lives to science. Zyma was a neurobiologist and Soker was a biologist. More than 1 year ago Zyma lost his son in the war. An enemy from a neighboring country took the lives of people who could have lived for a long time, doing a lot for science, society, and the environment. "I can't get used to it," said Volodymyr Bugrov, the rector of the university where they worked. One of their colleagues at the university, Mykola Makarchuk, said he had known Zyma for half a century, having met as students. 2 years ago, on December 31st, they actually hit our university, our building, and 2 years later they killed Ihor Hryhorovich together with Olesya Vadimivna. "These are scientists who worked there, I don't know how to explain it," said the professor. A former student of Zyma said that his teacher always made science interesting. "It is a pity that unfortunately such people are being taken away from us. They are our future, they are the flower of the nation," said Sergei Nifantov. According to Education Minister Oksan Lasovii, the couple died in their home in a Russian drone strike on the first day of the new year.
Ворог сусідньої країни позбавив життя людей, які могли ще довго жити і багато чого зробити і для науки, і для суспільства, і для середовища, і з цим ніяк не можна звикнутися.
Сказати, що він був видатний науковець, це нічого не сказати. І найбільше він мені запам'ятався як просто чудова людина і чудовий викладач. Це була людина, яка завжди зрозуміє, завжди увійде в положення, допоможе чим зможе і чим не зможе, зацікавить.
Сину Святому Духові нині повсякчас і на віки віків. Амінь. Пресвятая Тройця помилуй.
Ну, просто не знаю, що сказати. Чудова людина була. Дуже шкода, що, на жаль, таких людей в нас забирають. Це наше майбутнє, це цвіт нації.
Ми з студентами ще познайомилися, і до цього часу, це майже півстоліття, і ця дружба була, ну, якщо вона була, то вона була заснована на тому, що ми дивились на світ, як я кажу, однаково. І тому я можу казати про Ігоря Григоровича тільки дуже все хороше, світле, а те, що він був талановита і дуже розумна людина, це, звичайно, знають всі. 2 роки назад, 31 грудня, вони вдарили фактично по нашому університету і по нашому корпусу. А через 2 роки вони вбили Ігоря Григоровича разом з Олесією Вадимівною, і це науковці, які працювали там. Тобто я не знаю, як це пояснити, але це просто